Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point.
Okay, prepare yourself, everyone, as Shaq just revealed the truth about Caitlin Clark on Angel Reese's show once more. When Shaquille O'Neal, the man, myth, and legend, appeared on Angel Reese's show, he made it very evident who he believes to be the true star. Yes, Shaq revealed everything about Caitlin Clark, and Angel's response was, to put it mildly, unfavorable. Okay, let's start the show. Reese is regretting her choice to invite him in the first place. Angel Reese was there with the intention of having a pleasant conversation with Shaq about the game and perhaps receiving some praise for her hooping, but Shaq had other ideas. He began hyping Caitlin Clark from the beginning, talking about her amazing range, her vision on the court, everything, and you could almost see Angel trying to hide her jealousy. Then, Shaq asks her why people adore her so much, saying that it's because she's better, but she responds, "Oh, it's the logo 3ES," as if that's the only reason people adore her. Shaq wasn't having it, saying, "Hold on, that's not all. Caitlin Clark has the whole package. She's the best passer. She has fans glued to her seats, and she controls the game like a chess master." Here's Angel looking like she just received a reality check. Sports Pro, a sports media business, even put Caitlin Clark higher than Ronaldo and Messi on their list of marketable players. It appears that Caitlin Clark is currently paying Angel Reese's rent by being featured indirectly in her podcast. Let's be honest, she should just give her a commission or write her a check by now, but jokes aside, Shaq is Shaq, and he didn't stop here. This is as real as it gets. Angel Reese had recently stated that her salary doesn't pay her rent well. This is the baby-faced assassin, Steph Curry.
Steph.
He looks like a perfect, normally office guy.
Yeah.
But he's doing stuff that people never seen before. She's doing stuff we've never seen before.
Let me tell you, in addition to being an NBA legend, Shaq is also a mentor of sorts to Angel Reese. He is sitting there praising Angel's rival over her in her own podcast, which must hurt like hell, but Shaw's not done yet. He continued, "I used to doubt Caitlin, but she kept proving me wrong again and again." He even acknowledged that he was initially a hater, but Clark has since changed his mind. You could tell that Angel was having a hard time keeping her composure, but Shaq is demonstrating that Caitlin Clark is the real deal.
This is my podcast. Why is he giving Caitlin a standing ovation? I mean, this is gut-wrenching, to say the least.
Shaq hits Angel with the final line, "If I doubt you 10 times and you hit that shot 10 times, then you're the truth." Because, let's face it, Caitlin Clark is doing things that haven't been seen before she shoots her court vision, her entire command of the game, and she's setting a new standard. Fans aren't just enamored with her for the 3ES. They're obsessed because she's changing women's basketball, and Shaq notices it, which is why he's letting the world know right in front of Angel. Yes, Shaq has rendered her incomprehensible. Angel is unable to understand why Shaq is elevating Caitlin in front of her, and fans were furious after this podcast concluded. Comments began to pour in saying,
In the Final Four, I'm like, damn, and I was a hater because, I'm down. She was like, she's not going to hit that shot, and bam, damn, she's not going to hit that shot, bam. If I say 10 times you're not going to hit the shot and you hit the shot, that means you're the truth.
People were unable to obtain adequate. Shaq also acknowledged that he first detested Caitlin Clark, but as anticipated, Caitlin's abilities won him over. Shaw's candor struck harder than any dunk. He simply expressed what everyone had been thinking, and let me tell you, his statements are in line with those of other analysts like Rachel Dida, Jason Whitlock, and Stephen A. Smith. His admiration simply serves to support the conclusions of these seasoned players that Caitlin is the one attracting new followers, breaking records, and making women's basketball a must-watch sport. Watch television, they're merely stating what Caitlin brings to the court, and it's something you simply cannot refute. It's not just hype. Caitlin Clark is creating history by being compared to a point guard with elite vision and Steph Curry. This isn't just a compliment. Shaq is claiming that she is a once-in-a-generation player. Meanwhile, poor Angel is sitting there wondering if Shaq just interrupted my show to make Caitlin sound like the GOAT, and yes, he did. We can all see how badly Shaq is acting, even if Angel is doing her best to keep up. It must hurt if you invite a legend on your show and he ends up telling everyone that your greatest competitor is superior to you. Significantly, this is when the exciting part begins. However, if we look at Angel Reese closely, she is doing the exact opposite of her alleged rival. Caitlin Clark has no plans to stop. She has a dangerous work ethic and, even during the off-season, she is already going to the gym for her training. She is already a much better athlete than most of her peers, but she is not displaying any signs of laziness or overconfidence. We all saw the missed layups she made this season, and let's face it, she was the league's worst shooter inside 5T and possibly the franchise's most inefficient shooter. Despite all of these problems with her game, Angel Reese isn't concentrating on fixing them. Instead, she plays dress-up, acts like a fashion diva, and produces podcasts. You can check out our recent video where we discussed how Angel Reese is focusing more on her clothing and her wardrobe instead of her actual sport. This really speaks volumes about the overall mentality of these players and how they approach their game. One is already ahead of the curve and still ready to put in the blood, the sweat, and the tears for this game, while the other is not ready to sacrifice her playtime anytime soon, and this isn't the first time Shaquille O'Neal has spoken her mind on Clark and how he used to be a hater. He had confessed already that he was blinded by none other than Angel Reese, and she had kept her from ever saying the true potential and the relevant greatness that Caitlin Clark holds in her game. He also said earlier this year that Caitlin Clark is the best-sent player ever to grace the game of women's basketball, and this coming from Shaq himself is massive praise for a rookie WNBA player like Caitlin Clark, who is yet to play more games and earn her laurels in the upcoming seasons. This is more than enough evidence that Shaquille O'Neal genuinely believes what he says, and he truly feels that Caitlin Clark is indeed the better player than her pupil Angel Reese. And not only Angel, Shaq makes it apparent in his remarks that he believes Caitlin is the greatest person alive and that no one can compare to her, because here's the reality. Despite her skill, court awareness, and ability to predict plays before they happen, Caitlin Clark is more than just a player who makes threes. She is raising the standard. Shaq is not the only one observing analysts, players, and fans as she sells tickets, floods stadiums, and breaks new ground for the entire team. They are all discussing how Caitlin is bringing in a new era of women's basketball, and whether Angel likes it or not, Shaq has made it clear after dropping the mic. Shaq simply carries on as if nothing had occurred. Angel is attempting to put on a good front, but it's obvious that Shaq came to give credit where credit is due, and that, in his opinion, Caitlin Clark deserves all of the attention she's receiving. What's the takeaway then? Caitlin Clark is the true star of women's basketball, according to Shaq, who told Angel Reese on her podcast. He compared her to Steph Curry and called her the truth, essentially saying that she is the sport's future. Although Angel may not agree, Shaq is stating the facts. Caitlin Clark isn't just here to compete. She is here to dominate, and Shaq, he made her domination extremely obvious in front of Angel. Do you think Shaq was overly ebullient, or is Caitlin Clark truly the next big thing? For more insightful analysis and highlights from the world of women's basketball music, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Click the like button and subscribe.
Did Shaq just call Caitlin the GOAT on Angel's own podcast? Shaq basically told Angel that Caitlin's the star.
Let me tell you, in addition to being an NBA legend, Shaq is also a mentor of sorts to Angel Reese. He is sitting there praising Angel's rival over her in her own podcast, which must hurt like hell, but Shaw's not done yet. He continued, "I used to doubt Caitlin, but she kept proving me wrong again and again." He even acknowledged that he was initially a hater, but Clark has since changed his mind. You could tell that Angel was having a hard time keeping her composure, but Shaq is demonstrating that Caitlin Clark is the real deal.